Here we are in section 1.3 exercises part C at the end of this week. Number 1 through number 6 are the solutions we're going to do here. It says begin on number 1, budget and expenses portfolio project. So this is where you started preparing earlier by recording all the expenses and income, and you're going to do that for the remainder of the course. The entire semester you're going to record your budget and expenses. And here you're supposed to put that into a spreadsheet document. Some of you may be unfamiliar with it, so we're going to show you a couple of examples of what it looks like. Here we have an outline of the portfolio project, budget and expenses. And notice here that it says you're tracking your actual expenses. This is not a projection into the future. This is what you are spending and what your income is. You've got to be using an electronic spreadsheet that you made from scratch. Pre-made spreadsheets are not allowed. And then make sure you're using a budget as well as tracking actual income and spending. It's going to be very similar to what you saw in the All Is Safely Gathered In pamphlet found in the course resources. And you can do one of your own design if you want. We'll show you a few examples here. So we need it to be organized and easy to read, and it's got to be submitted as an attached file. So here's a couple of options on what you can do and make it look like. So here's an example. It's kind of actually week by week by week. And so over here, you can see the person actually put in a budget saying, oh, well, I hope to get 1,500 in, and this is how much tithing, and this is how many groceries, and so on and so forth. This is my budget, and here's what I actually spent during the week. So this is a week by week. And then you put your own expenses down here. So that one's kind of nice. It goes week by week, and then you create a new document, and it goes like that. So that was the first example. Here's another example. You'll notice this one goes more month by month. So here's a planned or budgeted month of income and expenses. And you just write the income up on top and the expenses down and put a little box around it if you want. And so you wouldn't be able to see the day of the month, but it records it as an entire month at a time thing. And that would be okay. Here's one that goes day by day. So you'd have to create a new sheet for each month. So December 2000. Here are the actual dates of spending. Here you could record what wages happened on what date. Notice you will not have an entry on every date, but here got $2,000, paid $200 in tithing. It was a few days later that they paid $35 for food and paid $50 on utilities. And so all of the you can see this, they put all of the categories of what they spent out here. This is very detailed, and these numbers right here down at the bottom would then be the monthly totals. But this would have to happen on a month by month basis. If you like that, that's great. Here's another one that's a little bit more similar to All Is Safely Gathered In, but it has a little bit different layout. So here's month 1. Right there, and here's your overall budget. If you have a same budget for every month, here's what happened on month 1 and then month 2 and so forth. If you like that one, that's a great one to use. And then here's another one. Here's a monthly budget, and then they actually track it week by week by week. So that's a way to do it. You can pause these and look a little bit closer. If you'd like to follow one of these, you're certainly welcome to. But really, the goal of this project is to make sure it's good for your use. Here's one where you have income and wages and up here, and then how much money you have left. So they take and subtract this every time so they know how much money is left in their account. That's a pretty nice one. Running total, that means that every day it updates. Every time you spend, it tells you how much you have left, and they get a little bit more detailed. I'll show you that so you can look at it if you'd like to do that one. Personally, I like to do the simpler ones that we looked at earlier. So here's a couple of similar examples where you have income and utilities and savings, and here's your budget, and then you put down here below what you've actually spent on each one of them. And that's okay too. So, there are a number of different ways to do it, and go ahead and when you send this into your instructor, go ahead and say, hey, this is how I was using it, and this is how I was using Excel. And that should do it. Well, let's open up Excel. So if you open up into a program, you'll notice it just opens up to a big box with letters up here. And that's what you'll do. You'll say, okay, this is you just click on a cell and start typing monthly budget for January 2035 or whenever we are, 2018. And then you could say, what is your income? And you just put it right there and you write down your incomes and how much they are. So wages here, maybe you teach piano lessons. You could put the money right here, $500 there, $20 there, and then your expenses and write them down. You've got your tithing and your food and your housing. And you just keep those down there, and then you can keep this running total down here. And you just type in the numbers and then be sure to save it as budget and expenses so that your teacher is able to identify that. Okay, I hope that gives you a good help on that problem number 1. If we check our answer, you'll notice it says, hey, title it budget and expenses, save it on your computer. There will be a point and it'll say turn in this document. So have it ready for that. All right. Number 2, round 54,454 to the nearest thousand. This is the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands column is right there. So this is the guy we have to look at, and it is a 4, which affects that guy by allowing it to stay right where it is. So it is closer to 54,000. And yeah, this number's between 54,000 and 55,000, and the 4 says we're less than halfway, so we're down at 54,000 for rounding. Round 385,764,524.83 to the nearest million. Well, you notice when I said 385 million, it was that column right there, but let's double check. 1, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions. So we need to round to the nearest million, so we look at that guy right there. Are we more than halfway to 386 million? Yes, we are, because the 7 is a 5 or larger. So that makes that 386 million. And now that is to the closest million. Good. Estimate the following. Oh, this is an estimation problem. We haven't done that for a little while. Estimate means we round first. So this is going to be 70 times, and round to that guy, 3,000. So this is 3,000 times 70. It says don't do the actual math, do the easy problem. 3 times 7 is 21, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 210,000. Number 5. Estimate this one. 538.9, we're going to round to the highest level we can. So this is going to be 500 times, round to the highest level. This 8 is bigger than a 5, so this is going to be 3,000. And so 5 times 3 is 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. There we go. 1,500,000 is about where that answer comes out to be. Number 6. Well, we should check our answers. We've gone a little while without this, so let's see. 54,000. Good, we got that one. And 386 million. Good. About 210,000. Yep, we were estimating and we got it, and this is 1,500,000. So let's go back to number 6. 82 is about 80 times. We're going to round to the highest level we can, which is right there. This guy causes it to go up, so we're going to do 0.000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an 8. So we just do the easy problem. So we got 6, 4, we have a 0, and now we have to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places behind the decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places behind the decimal. So it should be 0.00064, and that end 0 is not totally necessary. And we get about 0.00064. Good.